know what went wrong with my phone before. As you saw the other headline, um, British woman by the name of Black British woman of obvious Caribbean descent goes by the name of Elaine the Pain. Her handle is Elaine the Pain. She's indulged in eh, some some stereotypical things about Black American women that she heard about Black American women. Uh, so I'm not sure if I'm not sure what started, but it's gone viral. She says that Black Americans have no culture. Black American women are ignorant. Uh, she made a lot of disparaging remarks about African American people, but it's generally, I've worked and I want to say before I go any further, I'd like to say that I don't say that all Caribbean women are the same, all Jamaican women are the same because I know that's true. I don't know every Jamaican woman, just like Jamaican women don't know Jamaican women, Black British women do not know every American woman or every African American woman. So um, I want that to be known. And when I say what I say, but from the African American people that I have come in contact with, uh, yeah, they are from the Caribbean Jamaican women that I have come in contact with. This is what they say. They don't know our culture. Black Americans, we have a culture, which which now is going there. These racist people are trying to erase. We do have a culture. Yes, we do have a culture. And if you want to check her out, you can check her out on TikTok. Elaine the Pain. You should see her. Um, I didn't see it anymore. It was on YouTube. I haven't seen it, so it might have been taken down. But the whole thing is, you know, they don't know us. You know, they're they. It's really crazy to me because a young British girl, she she stated on African diaspora that that American people don't have a culture, and the reason why uh, uh, Caribbean women of, and I'm going to say Jamaican descent because that's what they spoke about. Because they were saying that people of Jamaican descent, they come to America, they come as immigrants, they don't come as black people, which made no sense to me, you know, because here in America, if your skin is not lily white, you're black, you know. And as far as them saying that, it's you have to look at African African diaspora. It's a channel. I think the guy's name is Phil Scott. But anyway, you look at it and you see it. As far as Black Americans not having any culture, they said we don't have a culture of our own, which is not true. We do have a culture because as Black Americans, we're a culture within a culture. We don't have the white European culture. We have our own culture. Our culture is grounded in the South, in the southern part of of the United States. We were brought over in the 1700s as slaves by the British, and we have a culture. We have a culture that, uh, for some reason, uh, Caribbean Americans, especially Jamaican Americans, seem to go against go against, you know, they they don't classify themselves as being black. But here in America, if you have 1 ounce of black blood, you are considered black. So we do have a culture. And for those who follow this, who come, they do, who subscribe to this theory that Black Americans have no culture, then I don't know what to tell you. But we do have a culture. We have a big culture, and I just want to say that. And before people speak on Black Americans not having a culture, know your history. Know the history of the country that you come to, because it would be better to know the history of the people of the country that you come to. From the history, the little I know of Jamaica, Jamaica is a very poor country, you know. Hey, Miss Andrea, how are you? I don't know if you were on the first one I did. For some reason, it messed up. I don't have a clue of why it did, but anyway, I did it again. And I was just explaining that you didn't hear the beginning. I did a disclaimer, and I said, I don't know. I'm disclaiming it. The things I'm about to say, I don't mean it for all people of Caribbean descent, particularly Jamaica, because I don't know all, and I don't profess to know all. I don't really know all of the history of Jamaica. So, but there seems to be this thing. It's a viral thing going on TikTok with a girl who calls herself Elaine the Pain, and some of the argument that they had was very ridiculous. You don't see me. Well, no, you don't see me because I have myself covered. I don't have my face out today. I'm not feeling I'm not feeling like that. You could see me though. I could let you see me. You want to see me? I'll let you see me. Here I am. I'm here, dear. I'm here. Oh, I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. I'm sitting on the couch. I'm being lazy. Do you see me now? You should see me. If you don't see me now, I don't know why you don't see me. But you know, at the gym listening. Oh, okay. Yeah. But you know, I was listening to it, and the argument they give, actually the argument between the British young lady. She's in Britain, and from what I understand, the Caribbean people, Jamaican people, and African people in in um, in Britain, in England, they're not liked either, the way they are here. That's just what I see. So they said something about American black women want want their men, Jamaican men, British men, British black British men, because they have more class, and all the ignorant stuff, And like I said, when I was younger, like in school and stuff, they we called the Jamaican men that we saw, we called them monkey men. We said they look like monkey. I was young, I didn't know, but as I got older, when you get older, you you learn, and you know things aren't right. But we called them monkey men. We laughed at them. We didn't want to be bothered with them. We didn't want none of that. So you know this thing about we want all their men, that's why we want to come to England to get their men to be in movies. Now, outside of Idris Elba, and there's another African guy, I can't remember his name. He had a very funny name, but those are the only two men that I know who are actors who are who are actors and who are of Yeah, well, Idris Elba, he's not even he's not even he's not even Jamaican. He's from Africa, Nigeria. Both of the men are, if I'm not mistaken, are African men. So I don't know these African actors that she says that America wants black British actors. So I don't have a clue on that. But anyway, the whole conversation, these back and forth had, and there was one guy on the end. He um he was like uh he was like he was saying, come on, cut it out, you know, cut it out, because in Britain, from what I've read and from what I've been told, they're not really welcome there. The British people are tired of the immigration of the Africans and the Caribbean blacks coming to England, and Meghan Markle, because she is black, and they went on about the royal family, and Meghan Markle is trash, and yada yada yada. It was just, to me, it was just obvious craziness. It was really, really crazy, because they just went to extremes with it, because they don't understand the culture. I've never gone, and they okay, and then this Elaine the Pain, she said that Americans aren't we don't travel. She didn't use those words, but what it meant, that American people don't travel. And it's not that we don't travel, but what she doesn't understand, we travel as Americans. We travel, but we go to countries, we come home. We do travel. Now, I myself, personally, I have no desire to go to a foreign country. If I went to a foreign country, it would not be it would not be Jamaica, a European country, and it wouldn't be England. I would love to go to the Vatican to see the Sistine Chapel and look at the ceiling, because of Michelangelo. So a lot of us don't. And my dear sister, God bless her, she traveled. She was a traveler. She loved to travel. She had been to England. She stayed in England for 2 weeks. She stayed in Paris for 2 weeks. She went to Israel for 2 weeks, So this thing about black Americans not liking that don't travel, they want to stay in the hood, and everybody lives in the hood. That's a bunch of BS, you know. And they don't get involved in things with us because they come as an immigrant. They're trying to make a way in America as an immigrant. But that's a lie too. That's a lie, because anything that black Americans get, they don't participate in it. But for example, I worked at a union job, which was union. They would not go out on strike when we wanted better wages, when we wanted to be treated better. They wouldn't go. But when the raises came, when we went out on strike, and we got the big raises, they were the first ones online waiting for the wave to come. So, you know, when they come with this thing about American blacks are are lazy. No, we're not lazy. I tell everybody, American blacks, as American black people, we are not lazy. We will not be treated any old kind of way at work. We will stand up for ourselves. We want a decent pay. We want a decent pay for a decent day's work. And so it's a lot of misconceptions, and then you got the American black kids. They were young, and they don't understand a lot of stuff. But my thing of it is, you come to a country. If I were going to migrate to a country, say Jamaica, just like Jamaica, if I was going to migrate to a country, I would know the history better. You know, I would not, uh, you know, I would not down their culture. You know, I wouldn't do that. So it's it's crazy to me how people are how they are doing certain things. But it just it just turns me off when I hear this to be going this back and forth, but they don't understand. And this not only, and I'm only speaking on Caribbean women and saying Jamaican in particular, because that's what I'm getting to. But a lot of foreigners come from foreign countries and they don't understand America, because if you're in a country and you make $300 a month, and you can come to America and make $300 a week, that's that's big money. That's big money. You make 1,200 a month. You've more than doubled your thing. So I just can't take it. But yeah, it was crazy. It's crazy how they were going off on it. I shouldn't be, get so upset about it, but I do get upset about it because our ancestors, Black Americans, our heritage is good. But this is why they're trying to erase it, because if they erase it, people will look down on us. But my thing with the Caribbean blacks is that you will it they don't understand that they come here on the backs of Black Americans. Senator Edward M. Kennedy was the one who opened the door for Caribbean blacks to be allowed to migrate freely here, because if anybody knows the history of immigration in years when I grew up, the people who came here were white Europeans. They came from places like Sweden, they weren't people of color. They weren't people of color, you know. So they need to know that they need to know those things. It's the sweat of Black American people fighting for the basic human rights that we have now. The right to vote, the right to have immigration stuff came because of what Black Americans went through. And this is what they don't understand, because this is how you get people like Candace Owens, you get all these other people, and those are the blacks who are basically joining the Republican Party, and who the right wing who are using as examples of supposedly good Black people. So it's crazy. I just wish the stuff I was gonna put it, do a StreamYard on it and show the thing, the back and forth, but I think they took it down because I'm quite sure the back and forth, it was getting kind of raunchy there for a minute, because people were getting upset. American people were getting upset, and I was getting upset myself too, because my thing is I've encountered Haitian people I worked with that thought we were better. They were better than anybody. And so you know and I really had bad encounters with the Black immigrants, because from the Caribbean countries, the other immigrants, the Latin American ones, I don't have a problem with them. It's a few of them I don't get along with, but you know, so I just I'm just saying that it's just I'm so mad that my phone. Oh, excuse me. I'm so mad that my phone messed up, because I had, I had everything more. It was more. I was more focused on what I was going to say, but my phone messed up, you know, in there. But I don't know. Maybe I'll do another live on it there. But I just said this, it just, first of all, it doesn't make any sense to me because we are who we are, they are who they are. But and it seems that it's a big thing now. I they they are in the Caribbean women, particularly Jamaican, and I'm saying Jamaican women because this woman that I'm talking about, she is of Jamaican descent. She lives in Britain, in England, and therefore, you know, they have a culture. We don't want anything. We don't own anything. We don't do anything. I mean, and that's the stuff I heard, growing. They don't own. My grandmother had a business in the South years ago. She did what they call a bread and bread, what they now call a bread and bread, tongue tied, excuse me, bread and breakfast spot. She did that for. She worked for that, and she was a cook for a hotel at the time. She lost it during the Depression. A lot of people lost their livelihoods during the Depression, and you know, my my mother, my aunt, and her two sisters, they were here when the Depression started. They had jobs. So when her job went out of business, she left the South and she came north. She made a good living with what she did. She was a cook. She used that to her benefit. She had a house. We had a house. We owned a house. As a matter of fact, my grandmother owned her house in the South, but she wound up losing it because of the Depression. Like I said, a lot of people lost everything. So for when I hear anybody, but in particular when I hear Jamaicans say, "Oh, black people are lazy, they don't want anything." No, we don't work three jobs. You're right. We don't work three jobs. We don't work three or four jobs. We don't do that. We work a job, we ask for a decent living, a decent wage, and decent pay. And so we give that's what we look for, and we look to be treated well, you know and because there's these people say they work, but they don't tell people the horror stories, the things that go on. I worked with a man. He worked two jobs, and his wife worked two jobs. They had the grandmother was there to watch the kids. The daughter got pregnant, and her she got pregnant, and they lived by a railroad track, and she threw the brand new baby out on the railroad track, and somebody found the body of the baby, and they traced it back to the to the to the particular house where the baby, where the people lived, because they lived by a railroad track. And it was heartbreaking. I felt so bad for the man. They locked the girl up and they put her away. They worked so much, they neglected the children, and the girl didn't want the father and mother to know she was pregnant, and they left her with the grandmother. So there's a lots of stories that I've heard about, about Jamaican migrants coming here to America, and I've worked with people from, Caribbean people and people from Jamaica who have told stories. I worked with someone who said their parents came to America and left them and never sent for them. A lot of that happens too. A lot of that happens too. And the reason why I bring that thing up is because I I bring it up because I I want, not because I'm happy about it there, but their life is no better than their life is no different from ours, from the American blacks. They have their success stories, and they have their failures, just like every race does. They have their success stories, in their face, and I've heard them, and I've actually had um, for people I work with, Jamaican people I work with. I've met some that were, I couldn't get along with them, but I've also met some that were very nice, and they were very truthful in what they said. You know, they were very, very truthful in what they, spoke on what they come. I worked with a woman whose parents came, each one of them, they came, and every time one of them graduated from high school, they would send for them. They left them with the grandparents in Jamaica so they could go to school. And as soon as they graduated high school and finished their education, they brought them. But they told me, the woman, she told me she had a friend whose parents left, never came for them and never sent for them to come. And she was friends with them for kids, and she used to buy stuff for them and give them stuff to, send them stuff for home, send them stuff home. And you know so I understand why they come, and I have respect for all immigrants who come, because it has to be hard to leave a country and come. I don't know, I haven't had to do that, but I assume it's hard. I look at the humanity of it. But when you come and you want to downgrade me as being a black American, because when you downgrade black Americans, I you downgrade me. You're saying we're lazy. We're not lazy. We're not lazy people. That's the stereotype they have about us. When white people say we're lazy, it don't really bother me because I expect that coming from them. But from people, for black people from another country to say that, when you don't know who I am, you don't know what I've been through, you don't know anything about me. How dare you come and say that? That's the feelings I have about it. Be honest. If your country was so great, why are you leaving? That's how I feel. Why are you leaving if your country is so great? You know, and their economy is very poor. The I have a woman I worked with. She worked all the years. She owned her house here. She left her house then with her daughter. She had a daughter who was married. She left her son-in-law and her daughter in her house. She retired and wanted to take her pension and move back to Jamaica because she had a house there, because they used to go and visit in the summer, and she went there to live. She didn't stay 6 months. She came back. She said that Jamaica is, she said it's very violent there, because when you come from the United States and you come there, the people there beg you for money. They beg her for money, and she said they'll kill you. They break into your home. And actually, I knew a girl that I grew up with, a black American girl, who moved there. She had a used Mercedes Benz. She had a Benz, and she had everything shipped over to Jamaica. They found her dead in a ditch. She was killed. They thought she had something wrong. She had all this jewelry and had a car. She was going to live in Jamaica. She planned on moving to Jamaica. So the myth about black Americans not not being people who travel is crazy. But that's what they believe. So, you know, it's crazy. It's really crazy. I'm not gonna go any further with this because because my train of thought, everything I had that I was gonna say, because the other stream I made messed up. I was so mad it didn't last but for 3 minutes, and I couldn't figure out what was wrong with it, so I had to redo it and change the name. But I may do some more on it. If I see the thing, I might do a StreamYard on it where you can see what I'm talking about, the back and forth that was going on, and want that black American men want the Jamaican men, which is not true. Some of us do go out with them, but the majority of women I know, they don't care for them. You know, I work with a lady, a Jamaican lady. Her son married American girl, American black girl, She wouldn't speak to the person that he married her anyway, because she wanted him to marry. His mother wanted him to marry somebody, go to Jamaica and get a wife, and he didn't want a wife from Jamaica. He wanted a wife from here. He married a black American woman, and the woman don't speak to gotta go. But there, that's what's going on. But anyway, I'm gonna end this live stream. I'll be back at you, Andrea, and I can always count on you if nobody else. Later.